So, quick update, a little bit of explanation of what is going on with the machine right now. So, I changed the old peristaltic pump into a new one, which I got from Taobao as well, and changed the tubings because I like black. You don't need to see. The problem with transparent tubing is like you'll see when the inks are there and like they're gonna put like stains. Sorry, my hands are a bit dirty right now. They'll leave stains in the whole tube, and then I don't really want that. So just basically removing that one, and it's the same thing. And for starting the pump and stopping the pump, because you're just gonna operate it like probably once a month or something. This pump replacement has been done. Then we moved on the paper rollers on this side, which you can see. I was basically working on the Beijing Lu, and I saw these amazing bearings, and I found, because the rods arrived, I custom made them. I sent the designs to a vendor on Taobao, and like they made the rollers for me. So the shaft diameter is basically 8 mm, and I found these bearings, amazing size, and each cost like 5 RMB. And so basically like placed 2 bearings. Let me focus that one a little bit. Yeah, so you can see 2 bearings upside down and 2 shafts close to each other, and there is a spacer in between. Inside you'll not see. It's kind of like a spring, so I can expand and adjust the spacing of these 2 rollers next to each other. And then on this one is basically the 5 GY series stepper motors with high current and like high torque, directly hooked up with like a spring coupler with high tension and raised on spacers. This one took really a lot of effort to figure out the height, and these ones, and the arrangement took me like a day and a half basically, because every time you put it there and then see the tension is right or not, and they're aligning or not, and if it's like too much tension or not, and things like that. So that's the roller side. I'll come back to it in a while, or actually let's just continue. So after I fixed this today, I started testing it with the commands from the terminal, and it was kind of working, because here the paper roller is very heavy and it's a lot of length to cover, and it's basically going through this fixed plate up there with this wooden shaft, basically just to give it a less friction, and then going back to the rollers. So the pull was only from that point and till this point, so the momentum needed was very, very high, and it was not enough for it to roll, because it's not really rolling. It was not really on the bearings. Before I put the bearings, which also I did put today, they were just like on these ones, and this is, as you can see, it's like a lot of space, so it's just kind of like rolls on top of each other. And these chopsticks kind of hold this paper together. Wait a moment, let me just like pause the sound. So these ones kind of hold the whole roller. These two, this one and this one, hold this together, and when this shaft moves, this whole thing moves, or just rolls in itself, which is kind of enough. But then it was not doing that, because the pull was from that part till this part. It's kind of like a lot of pull. By the way, as you can see, I have not hooked it up because I'm redesigning the Z-axis, which is not going to be this mechanism. It's going to be a different mechanism, which is also arriving. I've sent the design files to a vendor. Anyways, coming back to this one. So I figured this out. It was rolling, but then at some point it was like getting stuck and like making noises like zzz, it was vibrating, couldn't roll it properly. It was like, okay, so what can I do? I have a little bit of space here. So I quickly figured out probably this shaft was like around 2 mm diameter, wooden shaft that I got. So I basically ran to Beijing Lu and found 2 bearings. One is on this side, another one is on this side, and kind of like screwed them on these at the positions, and then they move very soft right now, as you can see. And then I found another gear that'll go on the shaft, which is having like 19 mm, so you can see like I had to send off some of the wood and then like fix it there and like put some glue in and like screw it up so it doesn't move. And then basically again like got another gear, got another 5GY series high torque stepper motors, put it on a clamp on some stilts. Basically again, as you can see, one first holes are made here because I first put it on this side a little bit more further, and it was again not kind of moving so much, it was vibrating a little bit, so I pushed it up, moved the whole thing this way. A lot of work. And then basically connecting that motor with this motor parallelly, and then ran it, which is another video that you have seen already probably on Instagram, which is kind of working very nice, I would say. So that's that. Another update is basically, if you remember, I was moving from the computer terminal to selection of the 3 people, like people on PTO, people on sick leave, people on comp days. So this was supposed to be the physical interface for our office manager to actually click and select like, okay, today I want to see who are the people who are on PTO, so I click this. So I built this up on this one, and then like I kind of like put it up a little bit of, because I made the CNC, and with the CNC I just put it up layout and like put it up all in there. Was kind of happy but not really happy. It looked like a little bit of fidgety. As you can see, these are the rods for the Z-axis mechanism that I've waiting for to come. Anyways, talking about this one, so the next day I again ran on the Beijing glue, and then got this little box and like these toggle switches, and this is basically the Raspberry Pi casing in there, and all the wirings are neatened now because this is like the switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3 on PTO, on sick day, on comp day. And like I bought like a couple of switches around here, like to try with like a little bit of fat ones, like these dash ones, and then somewhere I got probably other ones, which is like these ones, which is silver, kind of very costly. So those are funny. And played this one, checked it up with, so this is basically the Arduino is going to connect to this Raspberry Pi over here, and then it's going to run a display which is going to be on a 3D mounted thing, and this is going to hang out. So 2 wires will be hanging out from here, this one and this one, and this is gonna go to the ink jar, which is probably gonna hang from here, and this is gonna go to the, this tube is gonna go to the pen, which I have not started working yet. I've just got like 2 samples, and I have to transfer their nibs into each other because I want to see how much ink is dropping in and things like that, so I want to keep it transparent. That's the update so far. A lot of work since Monday, because it looks all finished and clunked up together, but it takes a lot of effort to put it all together and measure in like 2 millimeters level, and like file, unscrew, screw it back, unscrew, screw it back, a lot of things. So anyways, so that was the update. Have fun.